there. So hopefully I've convinced you that you really do want to learn how to transpose. It can make your musical life a lot more fun. It can make your music sound so much better if you're not playing the stupid E flat chord that they used to try to make me play. You just transpose it to the key of E instead. Much easier. But I wanted to warn you, if you're an absolute beginner, this lesson might feel like too much information. So if you get that feeling like it's too much, don't worry if you don't understand it. Just focus on the part where we use this chart, the 3M chart, to transpose a song from one key to another. You don't have to understand the theory in order to use the chart to transpose. And eventually you can learn all this well enough to just do it in your head. But I think the chart is a good place to start, and mainly I just want you to know that you can so you don't suffer with playing the dumb chords like I did for 5 years. So let's look at transposing a melody first, okay? In the key of C, the key of C looks like this: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We call it 1 again when we get back to the same letter that we started with. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, E, F. So I want to focus on just 3, 2, 1. We can know a song. It's actually, once you know music by the numbers, actually don't have to know all the letters. Let me show you. This note right here on guitar is a C. I'm on the 5th string, 3rd fret. And those first 3 notes are a whole step apart. So it would look like this: 1, 2, 3. Okay. And if I wanted to play a song like Lean on Me, that would be 3, 2, 1. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. Lean on me when you're not strong. 3, 2, 1. There are, of course, other numbers as the melody becomes more complex, but we can learn that later. I want the transposing to be easy. That was key of C because this note, my 1, is a C. So even without knowing the key of G, if I know this is a G note, I can play 1, 2, 3. And I can play 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and be in the key of G. Let's do one more key with melody. And this note here, 4th string, 3rd fret, is a F. And even if I don't know the key of F, if I know that this note is an F, I know that in the key of F, 1, 2, 3 is going to be my first 3 notes. And I could play 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. So let's see. So that's just a simple transposing of a melody. You can learn a lot by, a lot of people play by just knowing the notes, the numbers of the notes is what I'm trying to say. And actually, when we get into the well-tempered exercises, that's what it's all about, is playing melodies and transposing them into different keys. Let's see. But I wanted to focus mostly on transposing chords because a lot of us play and sing, or we're playing guitar for a group of people and they're singing, and the key you're in makes so much difference. For your own voice, you want to be in the key that makes your voice sound best, or if you're accompanying another singer or a group of people, there will be a key where they're comfortable singing and there will be keys where they're not comfortable singing. So here's how it works. We're going to look at the 3M chart now. The reason I like the 3M chart is because it focuses on 5 keys, and actually if you get good at using this chart, these are probably all the keys you're going to need. The 4M has all the keys if you ever need those. but this, I call these guitar keys because mostly guitarists either play in this key or they're thinking in this key because they've put the capo on their guitar. But the way it works is just like here in the key of C, we had the first note, second note, third note. Here we have first note, second note, third note, fourth note, fifth note, sixth note, seventh note, and the first note again. But we can also use these letters to name our chords. If we're playing in the key of C, that means like if we were playing Lean On Me, it'd be, let me get the right note, make sure. Oh, 3, it would be 3, 2, 1, E, E, D, D, C. That would be my melody, but I would be playing a C chord right there. 3, 2, 1, that's a C chord. So now we're shifting to chords. So we're using this list of chords to name the chords that we're using in this key. And today we're focusing on the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. The reason we have capitals and lowercase is because usually the 1st chord, 4th chord, 5th chord are major, and the 2 and the 3 and the 6 are minor. And diminished, that's kind of like minor, but we can learn about that later. So we're focusing on 1 and 4 and 5. Let's look at Happy Birthday. All this is in the PDF. There's one that's blank. It's a good idea to make copies of that so you can just write on it and always have a clean copy. Let's look at Happy Birthday in the key of C. Okay, we'll pretend we're at Grandma's house and we're trying to decide what key to play it in. Happy birthday to you. Let me just show you. C chord and G chord. G chord back to C chord. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. C chord. Da 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 da. Then we get our 4 chord, which is F. You might not want to play F. So we want to transpose it to the key of, let's try a key of G since they're right next door. So what that means, in the original key, the song started with a C chord. So in the new key, we're going to try key of G. That means our 1st chord is G. So whenever we have a G in the new song, whenever we, I didn't realize how tricky this was going to be to show on a video. Because if you were actually doing it, this would be a good workshop to do live. Actually, that's a good idea. We could do that. So this is the original one. So instead of starting with a C, now we're going to start with a G. And then when this song switches to G, we use our handy chart. Original key is key of C. And we want to know when this song switches to G, what is that going to be in the new key? So it's the number column that we follow. So the 1st chord was C, and then it switched to the 5 chord. So our new key, the 1st chord, did I say that right? C, now 5 chord, G. So in the new key, we're playing the key of G. 1st chord is G, 5 chord is going to be D. So it's going to be happy birthday to you, like that. Different key though. Happy birthday to you. Key of D. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Now the 4 chord is going to be C, not an F. What I just played was happy birthday, dear Grandma. So now you get to play C instead of F. So that's how you would look at this chart and change it into this chart with G's and D's and C's. Okay, let's see if we have time. Yeah, good. And then let's just look at it. So what we see here is called 1-4-5. We're playing playing a song with the 1, 4, 5. So if we decided to play in the key of D, we would start with D. Let me play happy. Oh, and you might notice when I was singing in the key of G, it wasn't a good key for my voice. And key of D is probably going to be much better. Happy birthday to you. It goes to 5 chord. Let's look at that again. Actually, if you have these in front of you, that would be great. Happy birthday to you. 5 chord. Da 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 da. Back to 1 chord. Da 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 da. Goes to the 4 chord. And if you don't know what the 4 chord is, da da to the 4 chord, then it shows you it's a G. Da da 1 chord, 5 1. Let's sing it once in the key of A. Key of A. Happy. This is gonna be a little low for me. Happy birthday to you. So we started on 1 chord. Da 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 da. And the 5 chord. 5 chord. Back to 1 chord. The next chord is a 4 chord. And a 1 chord. 5 1. So the last thing I want to suggest, that's a good place to start, is just taking just a song that you're already familiar with, okay, and focus on transposing. Don't worry about rhythm and stuff like that. You could even use a 2 chord song like Jambalaya, Hush Little Baby, something like that. So we transpose from the key of C using our chart to the key of G. But that's a good thing to do first. Just transpose it from one key to another. And if that's comfortable, you could transpose it to another different key. But when you want to move forward and get good at doing it in your head, this is a good next step. You would take your original chart, transpose it into numbers. So you would take your original key, like C, and you would just write down 1, da 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 da, da, and 5, da da, back to 1. And you would get something that looks like this. I really like this. If you can get to the point where you can look at this and then you could pick a key. You could either write up at the top, okay, 1 is G, 5 is D, 4 is C, just so you can look at the numbers, even if you have to refer to something at the top of your page. Or you could just look at this and say, okay, I'm in the key of G. What's my 1, 4, 5? And you could look here, okay, 1, 4, 5, G, C, and D. And if you can remember that, that's awesome. And then, you know, even if you make mistakes a few times and you can't remember, that's going to really develop your brain to eventually do have all your 1, 4, 5 chords memorized. Actually, using them to make the music is better than just like flashcards. That's okay too, but to just do it makes you get faster at it. So eventually you'll be able to look at this and you'll just know, okay, I'm in the key of G and my 1 chord is G, my 5 chord is D, and my 4 chord is C. Hopefully I said all those right. Sometimes I can say it wrong because I'm looking at things backwards and jumping from one key to another. But I hope that makes sense. If there's any problems, let me know. And just know that I am working on absolute beginner material to just give you a more experience using these basic ideas about music theory so that something like this won't be overwhelming or difficult. And if there's any problem, just let me know and we'll fill in with a supplement, make it all make sense. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time when we talk about using the capo and how to know what key you're in when you're using the capo. Talk to you later. Bye.